country that completely broke your expectations, good or bad?
I'm gonna say actually now Slovenia. I went to Lake Bled and Triglav National Park there. So it was absolutely just like beautiful. The water there is just like this insane blue, which is like kind of near Lake Bled. So that broke my expectations in a really good way.
Passionate about it, and that's what I do.
Who's this one?
I could say probably me again
Yeah,
too, and it's me rewatching my story the most. Let's be real.
So, Lorena, what do you like? Do you like to travel as a solo backpacker, or do you like traveling with a group?
What is next 2026 travel for you?
I think we're going to go to Johannesburg in a few weeks' time to do another safari. And then our summer plans look like flying into Malaysia, going into Indo, spending time with the orangutans, and all of that's booked. So it's looking pretty good.
Everyone wants the life, the passport stamps, the new city every few months. But what happens when the honeymoon phase ends and you're standing in a grocery store in Addis Ababa like Troy does, trying to find peanut butter for your kids or hiking alone through Bavaria, asking if Germany will ever feel like home? Or backpacking through Colombia, realizing you have not had a conversation with someone who knows your middle name in 3 months. I'm Akash Kanwani. I'm your host and your friend. I've explored India into and done some big international cities as well, from Tokyo, New York, San Francisco. I've been there, done that. But every time I land somewhere new, I find myself more curious about the people who actually stayed in the places I visited, right? Even when I see the content of Nicole, Lauren, and Troy over here, I feel like, what could have been my life over there, right? So I want to know what that actually costs. Sneha, over to you.
Welcome, guys. Welcome to Beyond the Grid. Welcome, Troy, Nicole, and Lorena. The reason why we started Beyond the Grid is primarily to bring stories from remote corners of the world. So we wanted to bring out a different way of life and how people adopt different things when they are actually talking about or doing things related to travel. So I am a digital nomad. And I actually moved out of my home when I was 16 years old. So I've stayed in 15 cities in India because India is a diverse country and you get a lot of topography and regional variants along with food in India. So I have been experimenting with that. But I've also stayed outside India in a couple of countries and I have done 10 countries so far. So I'm very happy to host the show with my co-host Akash today. And we would love to talk about what happens when life doesn't have a fixed address. So it will be lovely to hear your stories. So welcome to our episode and thank you for being here with us.
Right, we quickly jump onto our segment one, which is the boarding pass round. So, your name and IG handle, country you're living in, countries you have lived in, and your 2026 travel energy song or movie. So, we start with the man of the hour, Troy, my friend.
All right. Hey everyone. So my name is Troy, and our Insta handle is Smith Family Adventurers. I'm currently sitting here in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. My family and I, we've lived in New Zealand, China, Indonesia, Cambodia, and now Ethiopia. If I had to pick a travel song, up until recent times, I would say I'm on top of the world by Imagine Dragons, and I'm still with that because we will continue to be positive and look for travel and just take advantage of this beautiful world we live in.
Honestly, clapping to that. I love that introduction. Honestly, love it, man. Thank you for that, Troy. It was a lovely introduction. We move to Nicole, the lady who remembered the time this time. Great. So, Nicole,
Okay.
your name and IG handle, where are you based right now, countries you have lived in, and your 2026 travel energy song or movie.
Hi, I'm Nicole. My IG handle is Nicole Wanders Mindfully. I'm an American who currently lives in Germany. So the only two countries I've lived in so far, maybe some later down the road. And I would say that my travel vibe energy for 2026 is Matt Wilder's like no one's gonna stop my stride. Well, and I just feel like I'm going continuously and always looking for the new next thing to do.
Perfect, perfect. Again, love the introduction. I can sense a vibe to you when whenever you're talking, I feel like just moving my body here.
Yeah,
There's a vibe to you. I love it. I love it.
it's the
Lorena,
Getting it
Italian,
comes
I
from
think.
camping out and a lot of hitchhiking because you are prepared for anything and everything. So
I'm
yeah,
currently
or,
doing some van life.
great,
love.
great. Love it, love it. So we move to Lorena. Lorena, your name and IG handle, country you're in right now, countries you have lived in, and 2026 travel energy.
My name's Lorena. My Instagram handle is yourtravelmuse.x. I live in Ireland. I've not lived in any other countries yet, but there is something coming soon. My song for 2026, Travels Would Be Life, is a roller coaster because it's full of all these twists and turns, and that's the joy of it all.
Perfect. Thank you for that. So great segment one, guys. Really love the energy. So quick round again, which is called the Insight Journeys before we deep dive into the main questions. So we go with Lorena this time. Lorena, you have just landed in a new country and you have no internet on your phone. What's the one mistake you think you will make?
This is a tricky one. What mistake? Well, the mistake is not having the data on my phone. I'm probably from there not knowing enough of the language, maybe to communicate with the locals if it's a country where I don't speak their language. So not having the basics.
Okay, it's not like the basics. All right. Troy, what's it for you? You have just landed in a new country with no internet. What's the one mistake you think you will make?
I think just our family's mantra and our personality is the mistake is that we would just say, let's go. We'd try to get to the accommodation as soon as possible without data and perhaps without the language. And sometimes that pays off and we'll say we'll get it later. But that's just all part of the adventure for us.
Great, great answer. Nicole?
I would say my mistake is I would probably end up getting lost. I would think be going in the right direction. I probably wouldn't. If I'm on a trail, I have a pretty good sense of direction, but if I'm in a city, I can get a little lost. So I would get lost, I think.
All right. So
For me, Prakash, Dochi's song like anxiety is going to, be in my brain all the time. So if I'm going to land in a place where I don't have an internet, my therapist is getting a call as soon as I
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
gonna be
you don't have
crazy.
international roaming
I
too,
have
Sneha.
anxiety issues.
You don't have international roaming too. You can't call her. You'll have to, accept the anxiety and just find your way out.
Or
Okay.
start writing it down.
Yeah. She's my therapist would get an email.
Guys, it's a funny story. So I have been on a. So we went to a shoot here with the brand, and we were on an airplane. I couldn't sleep, and I told Sneha on the flight, in between the flight, that I can't sleep. What should I do? She's like, I know some remedies. You need to do some breathable yoga in between the flight. So we were doing like this, and she slept. She slept with the lights on, and I couldn't. I was just like, okay, lights are on. How am I supposed to sleep in middle of the flight? So during the flight, she knows some magic. She can sleep.
It's the old 3-to-1 military technique, guys. I'm sure you would have heard of it. Like counting sheep is there. So it's like a 3-to-1. You control your breath work and your breathing.
Mhm.
That's how you kind of try to fall asleep. But clearly, Akash has the bigger anxiety issues than mine. So he's not that awake at that entire flight. But yeah.
Right. So we move to the segment three, personal life lessons. So Troy, China to Southeast Asia and then to Ethiopia, three completely different world. Which move was the hardest for your kids and which one surprised your family the most?
The hardest one was definitely New Zealand to Cambodia. We'd already lived in Beijing, China, and we'd already lived in Indo, and we went back home to New Zealand for COVID. And so it was a very hard decision to uproot our two daughters to take them across the world to somewhere that was unknown, unseen, and unlived. So we had to make sure that we really got that transition right for them. It was a very hard decision for us and our families back home, and we had to really make the landing and what we did intentional to make sure that we transitioned and we started well in Cambodia. The biggest surprise was definitely Ethiopia. We absolutely love it. The school community, we're international school teachers, so the school community, the onboarding was just the absolute best we've experienced. And right from landing, getting picked up, our family felt so at home, so much part of a whole. So it was the community that we entered, but also Addis Ababa on a whole. Our due diligence was phoning a friend who worked at the school, who we worked with previously in Cambodia. So we didn't actually know too much, but we had our big questions, which was on top for us. They gave us the answers we wanted, and we just took that enormous risk. That's what international teachers do with families and by themselves, and we could not be happier.
That's
I
it,
have a
sure.
follow-up question, Troy, if you don't mind, Akash. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
are bringing your children on so many different kind of cultures, and they are literally like global nomads right now because they would have your family traditions, which you would be bringing them up on, but also the imprint of so many different cultures and countries that they are getting to witness and live along with you. So how easy or difficult it is, and which one actually do you go ahead with? Because I have a similar kind of issue that every time I shift to a new city in India, I kind of adopt the local practices, the way of life, the food habits. But then there is something essentially mine, the way my parents brought me up, and the way which I call it ingenuinely like mine. So how do you kind of balance that?
That's a great question. I think, and it is definitely a balance. You have, like you said, you instill your family values and you are the sense of identity about where you're from and who you are. But then you are in another host country. And so you can't impose your culture, your values on them. So our perspective is embrace it. Embrace the language, the traditions, the norms, and just find our personal family blend to honor the host country while helping our daughters maintain who they are. But it comes together, so they are open-minded, they are internationally minded. They know that there's no one right way. There's many different ways, and we're here to experience it all.
So you are raising truly global citizens of the world for tomorrow.
That's the plan.
And how many languages do your daughters already know?
So obviously we're an English-speaking family, but they've been exposed to Te Reo Māori from New Zealand, Mandarin, which they learned in Cambodia, and now in Ethiopia. Both my daughters at school take French, English, and they're picking up all of that Amharic just from being in a home country. So they know so much more than my wife and I. And when I'm trying it, they're correcting us, and it's so beautiful.
It's a beautiful way of life of raising kids and bringing up people for tomorrow with a very different kind of thinking. So hats off to you and your family for doing that.
So yeah, really hats off to you, Troy. Lovely, lovely session over there. So we move now to Nicole. So Nicole, you went from board certified behavior analyst to photographer slash hiker. At what point did those two lives stop making sense together?
Before I moved abroad, I kind of knew that it was a little bit moving abroad. I knew I wanted to move abroad, but career wise, I was like, I don't know if this is still for me or not. And once I moved abroad, that kind of was that's when it was my turning point. And I was like, okay, this career isn't for me anymore. And then I was working here for a while, got illegally fired at my job and had to deal with all that. But it was actually like a blessing in disguise because it really gave me the push that I needed to like really branch out and get out of the career that I had built for so long to, realize like, hey, this isn't for me, which is also scary. And I think a lot of people kind of settle into their careers and don't realize how unhappy they are. And so I'm glad like I realized that and then was able to kind of have that push to get out of it and explore.
So it was more like
Yeah.
exploration for you.
Yes, yeah. It was like I knew beforehand, and then moving to a new country really solidified that. And now, like really delving into photography and content creation has been awesome.
Great. Over to you, Sneha, the second question.
My follow-up question on this, Nicole, is going to be because I know that you love exploring trails. So when you are out exploring any kind of trails, which are your top three trails that you have like really loved and you would definitely recommend for people who are actually wanting to explore trails internationally, especially people who are coming from all the different global audience segments, given the fact that all five of us are here?
Absolutely. I would definitely say Switzerland. I don't know if I have a specific trail there, but they have so much. They have so much to offer, and it's so beautiful. I would also say New Zealand. The South Island is absolutely amazing. The Queenstown area, it has so much to offer. Wanaka, that is amazing. And then I would say this might be a little surprising. Iceland. I hiked a glacier there, which through like ice slot canyons, and that was probably one of the coolest hikes I've ever done. And they also have a lot of hikes to waterfalls and just like very vast, diverse landscape. So those are probably my top three.
And the one in Iceland requires a special kind of preparation also, right? Because you really need to prep for glacier treks, given my understanding with the glacier trek here in India. I mean, if I'm a new,
Yes.
you have to give me an advice like what kind of prep do you really need to do for a trek in Iceland?
I would say, so the glacier one I did through a tour guide, but they have even different levels with that because I'm an experienced hiker. I did like an all day kind of like further into the glacier, but they have some kid friendly guides and for people who might not want to go as long, but you can still see pretty parts of the glacier. So I would say, regardless, make sure you start like becoming fit and even just like walking and always know your own level and your own when you should stop and how far you should go and you're just to start being a little bit active. I wouldn't say start a hike without any training whatsoever, even if it's just like continuous walking in your neighborhood or small trails. I would say just start small and go big. Don't aim for Everest or like Half Dome in Yosemite. Start smaller and build your way up.
I'm glad you mentioned Everest because I've been walking to prepare for the ABC and the EBC. Those are my 10-year-old dreams for myself. So I've been doing that. But I was more like asking on what is the, altitude for this trek? What is the temperature like for this favorite trek of yours in Iceland? How many days of a trek it is? Those kind of things would also help us understand, what is the severity? Since I understand you are an expert trekker.
Absolutely. So I only did a 1 day, like just a full day trek. I think it was a total of 8 hours, I want to say. And there was I didn't do any like ice climbing and I just like physically walked through. I went in October, so it was rainy and very cold. So I would definitely layer up in October and be prepared for that. I would say it wasn't so much strenuous as it was just mentally like, okay, now I have to be prepared to be out in the cold all day and like, I'm hiking through some water and how are my feet, more so like planting my feet so I don't fall, not so much like I'm like a strenuous, gruesome hike. So I think it's pretty good for even like the more basic, I don't want to say basic, but like below average hiker.
Thank you for painting that picture for me. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Nicole. We move to Lorena over here. Hi, Lorena. So you have been to Latin America. So the first question is how many times now? Second is most backpackers, they go once and they move on. What is it about that region that you cannot seem to close the chapter on?
So I've been to Latin America 4 times, and I think the reason that I can't close the chapter on that is because it's so much more than how the media often portrays it. So I like to be able to show that to people that this is also the realities. It's not everything that you're seeing on Netflix or the news. So I feel that's my purpose when it comes to traveling that side of the world. And the nature, the wildlife, the people, everything is just so amazing over there. So it's really different to where I live, and I think that's what I love about it as well. It really opens my mind to their culture and way of life.
Adding to that, what's the one specific city that you enjoy traveling to in Latin America?
I think Medellin in Colombia because they have a really hard past, which is not too long ago. So to be able to see the change and how it's improved for the better, especially for the people in the area, that's a beautiful thing to be able to experience and learn about.
Great, great. Thank you for that. Over over to you, Sneha, for the second question.
Yes, so Lorena, what do you like? Do you like to travel as a solo backpacker, or do you like traveling with a group? What is your preferred way of travel?
I've only ever traveled with a group once before I solo traveled, so I feel they can be beneficial too as an entrance point into that kind of world. But now I prefer to either solo travel or travel with my partner as well, because I feel solo travel is so romanticized online, and while it can be great, sometimes it can be lonely as well. So I feel that's an area that I'm hoping to touch on more as well.
So, what's the most memorable travel that you've had recently with your partner, or a group trip, or solo? Which one actually trumped all of it?
Recently, probably Uzbekistan, because that, as well as Latin America, was a completely different world to what I'm used to. But it was really interesting to see like the architecture there. I've never seen anything like it in my life. So that was wow.
Amazing. Yes, it is really pretty. So, which were like the experiences that you really liked over there?
I wouldn't say so much experiences, but it was more so wandering around and appreciating the architecture, also doing walking tours and taking in the history, learning about the culture, their religion. It was more so just to take in my surroundings than experiences as such over there.
Thank you for sharing that with us, Lorena.
Great, great. Troy, you are looking very good. You can, like
No,
you. I
no,
know you're playing with the camera, but you're looking very good, brother.
I have a
no,
question
no.
for
Picture
all
is
of you of
perfect.
them. Where are your backgrounds from? Like, because I like that. I like the painting in Troy's background. I love your
Yeah.
back, Dina.
Oh, I'm actually at a friend's house. They work at the Australian Embassy, and so I'm sitting in their living room, and yeah, it is absolutely beautiful. I can't take any credit, and I can't tell a story, but you can enjoy it.
So we move to the next segment, which is the travel memes we can react to. So I'm just gonna share my screen and we can react towards it in real time. Just give me a second. When you're exhausted after a whole day of travel, but still miss a bit. God.
I feel like that's me currently right now.
No, it happens a lot to me. I'm, 2 hours of sleep, 18 hours of travel. And when I'm traveling, my sister or somebody says, "Oh, there's a very good backdrop. Go for a picture." I'm like, okay, full energy. It's like, I smile in front of it. And as soon as the picture ends, I'm back to that normal poker face.
Oh.
I need to sleep.
For us, we have to read the room. Sometimes you do get there, and it is you just cannot get four beautiful smiling faces for a family shot. So sometimes it's an odd selfie if you've got a little bit of life left, and sometimes you can just say, "I saw it with my eyes," and it does not have to go anywhere else.
Yeah.
That's also what I look like after like a long hike and you get to the top, the summit, and you're like all sweaty and your hair's all over the place and you're like, I made it, but you look like a
Yeah.
hot mess.
God only knows how we made it.
Yeah.
You have to play by the ear. I agree with you, Troy, because you may not have the energy after reaching here at times. So
Correct.
even if I would have paid like a bomb for it, but if I am dead by the time I reach the spot, I'm just gonna be like, okay, let's come here later. And if it's not that we are not coming later, maybe just the place's picture I will take and not me in it.
Oh, absolutely, for sure.
Lorena, any thoughts on it? Do you do this?
Yeah, it's so real. But as you said, sometimes if I'm feeling too tired and I don't want to try for 10 photos, I'll just get a photo of wherever it is instead of me with them.
Yeah, let's just get it done. Let's move
Yeah.
on. What's the next? Perfect, guys. We move to the next one. Who's this
That
one?
is you. That is
Me.
you.
That's Nicole.
That's 100% me. I am so good. I'm really good at meeting like people from the internet, especially like Instagram stuff. Some of my best travels have been with people that I've befriended online and then have met up with. And so it's like at this point, my family's like, oh, Nicole's traveling with some other people she met online. And so that 100% me, no doubt.
So what about you? Are you, when you meet random people, you will dance with them on a beach or in a club?
We try to take risks for our daughters to model that stuff. So whatever it takes, but be careful while you're traveling. That's basically that's. Are you sure you want to move to that country? There's so much reserve and hesitation when we're making these big life choices. We're all in, but obviously those words come from our family and our friends because our worlds are very different. So we may be dancing, we may just be taking that huge leap of the unknown. But yeah, we're definitely here.
So for you, it's more like moving countries or random country going there. It's not just random people. It's just whole different continent for you, I think, and that's more of a risk over here. Yeah. Lorena, have you done this in Latin America somewhere?
Yeah, but what actually this reminds me of is when I was in Estonia and I was walking home and it was probably 6 o'clock in the October and I thought, oh, I don't want to go on a night out, but I don't want to go home. And I saw this door, it was inside a hill. So I walked up to the door and then I opened the door and I started to walk in, but then I heard people talking. So I thought maybe I'm trespassing. So I walked back and then some man followed me and he was like, hey, come in. So then I followed him back in and there was a few, so this was in Estonia and these were a few Russians and they were having drinks. So they offered me to have a shot with them. So I ended up just taking a shot in a random bunker with these random people. Yeah, when I tell that story, people are like, you shouldn't do that stuff, but
That's a super fun story.
yeah.
You survived. You're
Exactly.
here.
I'm here to tell the story now.
Exactly.
Perfect, guys. Perfect. We move to the next meme.
I love it. I mean, I'm so passionate about it, and it's what I do.
Who's this one?
I could say probably me again
Yeah,
too, and it's me rewatching my story the most. Let's be real.
The best movie after a trip is watching your own stories.
Yeah, exactly.
You go to the bed and you feel like, oh my God, what? You know how good I'm looking or how beautiful I am. Wow, you should be in a movie.
Right? You're like, I'm
Perfect.
so cool up here. Look at me.
I think this is like a time and energy and what's the purpose. Like if you want to properly document something, then yes. But just for a day in the life of, I don't like I'm past that. I've like no one needs to see that. Only if there's an intention for it or for a family audience of kids growing up and things like that. So somewhat yes, somewhat no.
So I guess Nicole, Sneha, Lorena, and me, we are guilty. We do have a Gen Z vibe.
It's vanity.
Yeah, I know it is. I'm just playing around. I'm just playing around. Great, great. Cool. We move to the next one.
Not really. Maybe. It's fine.
So for me, people just stop asking. It's not where's next. It's just that they just expect it now. It's and I love that. I think it speaks for what we do. But it's only my mom is really saying, where are you going next? Because she's really interested. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I'm on similar vibes. It's not so much they know I'm going next. Like they know it's not so much is it gonna happen? They know it's gonna happen. It's just like where's Nicole off to now? Like what is she doing?
Yeah. Or how many trips in advance have you got planned? Like
Yes.
how not just the next one, but how many ahead of that?
Exactly. It's no surprise when I'm like, oh, off to the next one. Everybody's like, oh, there she goes again.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's move to the next one. Who's this?
That's
25K
so
tips
me.
today. That's
That's
Lorena.
so me. Yeah, like
Finally.
I live near a park. There's a park 2 minutes from my house at home. I never really go to the park, but when I'm abroad, I'll walk on volcanoes. Like the differences.
This is once upon a time. This is not now, but a long time ago before you probably documented everything and did all of the posts.
Nicole, I'm assuming it's you.
Yeah, sometimes it depends on the day. I mean, I'm still pretty active at home, but when I'm abroad, I'm usually like, let's go see everything. Unless it's like a really crappy day, then I'll take a day off. But yeah.
Perfect, guys. We move to the last meme over here. Who's
That's
this?
me, girl. That's me.
Every meme, I think I've selected these memes for Nicole only.
Yeah, I think so. You're just like everyone. You're like, it's Nicole. It's Nicole. It's Nicole.
Great, great. Thank
Me
you for
also
your.
on trips, I am this fun, energetic person like a butterfly. But then after coming back from trips, I'm like, oh, when can I go again?
Yeah.
Why is it not soon already?
I
I'm
always like to have things that, they're coming up. So even going home back to routine is quality because there's X, Y, and Z in the future as well.
Do you
Exactly.
guys recognize who this is, by the way, in this clip?
I don't know.
Looks familiar.
No.
have you guys seen any Bollywood movie till now?
No.
I don't really watch a lot of movies in general, to be honest. I'm not a big TV person.
Okay.
Troy, have you seen any Bollywood movie till now?
I definitely have seen Bollywood movies, but I always recall there's that one Indian actor who's just loved by the masses. But I wouldn't recognize one of
Sure.
the lead female actresses,
Shahrukh Khan is
perhaps.
what you're talking about.
No,
Yeah.
he's saying a lead female also.
No. The lead male.
Shahrukh Khan.
I've got that face.
Shahrukh Khan, the one who keeps his hand like this.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The king
yeah.
of. So this is a very famous actress from India, from the Hindi film industry itself. So that's why we wanted to see if she garners any recognition. But since you guys don't watch Bollywood movies, it's all good.
I'll have to
She's
watch it now.
We're back to square one. Quickly, we have just one more segment left, which is the rapid fire. Sneha, you can take the lead on this one, the first one, this or that.
Okay, okay. All right, guys. So I'll begin. So this is this or that. You have to give me one word answers only, and we can go one by one. Settling down for a year or 12 countries in 12 months.
Oh, 12 countries in 12 months.
Same for me, 12 countries in 12 months.
12 countries in 12 months, for sure.
Wow, that is round the house, unanimous answer. Window seat or aisle?
Oh, window.
Window seat.
Depends on the flight and the time of day, but a window seat is great.
I thought you were gonna say aisle because you might just have to compromise at times with
Yeah.
Yeah. Kids wanting to see the clouds.
miss a flight or lose your luggage.
Oh, I'd rather miss my flight than lose my luggage.
Miss a flight because you can always catch the next one.
Exactly.
Lose my luggage.
Oh.
I've lost my luggage so many times. And you always get it back, but I don't want to miss a flight because school holidays are time sensitive, so I can't miss any days.
Mhm.
So you've always got your lost luggage back. You're very lucky.
I've lost luggage so many times. Our families predict it now. It's almost a surprise if everything gets through.
Do you guys bet on it? You or your wife that we're gonna miss our luggage in this flight?
I don't want to name and shame, but depending on the airline.
Perfect.
Okay. Overpack for a 2-day trip or underpack?
I want an underpacker, but I'm not. I overpack for sure.
I think I would say the same as well. I like to think that I just pack the basics, but realistically, I'll always have an extra outfit just in case.
Overpack for sure.
So all of us are agreeing. I'm also an overpacker. I really try to be a light traveler. I really try. But I think I need to learn from somebody how to be a light traveler.
Great, thanks for this, guys. Really fun segment over here. So, Troy, Lorena, and then Nicole. First thing, a travel song movie you relate to while traveling.
I'm going to go with the Wild Thornberries. I was thinking about how crazy, how adventure is the norm. And then you've just got this family who do jungle, who do everything, and they just they tackle it with enthusiasm. So I'll go the Wild Thornberries.
Great. Lorena?
For a song, I'm going to choose Bad Bunny, Debbie Tira Más Fotos, to take more photos when traveling.
And for me, I'm still sticking with Matt Wilder's No One's Gonna Stop My Stride. I'm just continuously going,
Again,
whether it's the
vibing,
mountain, the mountain biking, the mountain hiking, the surfing, snowboarding. Nobody's stopping me. I'm going.
Okay, so Troy, something you do on vacation that you would never do at home.
We don't do too many staycations because when we get out, it's very deliberate and intentional. And when we're back home, saving money, making smart choices so we can do those beautiful things we do. My wife is actually an exceptional cook. So obviously when we're out on holidays, that is the time to really enjoy the different cuisines and cultures and explore that kind of things. So at home, a lot more cooking. When we're abroad, a lot more trialing of different foods.
Great. So, Lorena, for you?
Similar to Troy, often when I travel, I'll eat out dinners every day in restaurants or street foods, which is not what I do at home. Every day at home I cook, so that would be something really different.
All right, Nicole, for you?
Don't judge me on this. For me, it's like re-wearing the same clothes. My boyfriend's camper van, I have a bunch of clothes and I have been like living in the same like sweatpants and 2 different fleeces, maybe 2 different t-shirts. So yeah, I just like kind of re-wear it. I almost like a comfort thing, I guess.
All right, so the next one country that completely broke your expectations, good or bad?
I can give you two. One of our first big summer holidays when we went abroad in 2015 was around Europe, and Croatia blew my mind, specifically South Croatia, bopping around 4 or 5 different islands and just floating in the sea, which is so buoyant. That absolutely blew my mind and just gave me that love of travel. So apologies in advance. I'm going to have to say Brussels in Belgium. Nothing against the city, but nothing stood out as anything different, or it was just we were in Brussels. We had a waffle and we had some food. It's not somewhere that I'd be signing up to go back to anytime soon.
All right, Nicole, for you?
I'm gonna say actually now Slovenia. I went to like Bled and Triglav National Park there, and it was just I feel like I don't hear much about it, so it was absolutely just like beautiful. The water there is just like this insane blue, which is like kind of near Lake Bled, and all through the national park. So that like broke my expectations in a really good way. And then kind of going off of Troy, the one that broke my expectations in a really bad way was Amsterdam. I just felt like it was like every other city. It was like New York. I'm from Philly, so New York's a competition city up there. And it kind of same thing, nothing stood out. It kind of was just, I was like, I'm here and that's it. I'm just in a city. It wasn't anything special.
Lorena, for you?
For me, that broke my expectations positively was Colombia, because all I knew about it beforehand was what I saw on Netflix, which is there's so much more. It's such a beautiful, diverse country. So that amazed me so much, and the people there.
Cool. So I guess the bucket list was the Croatia. Nicole, for you, it was that national park. Lorena, it's Colombia, right? I remember in Colombia, there's this one road which you can see, and there's the entire city lights behind that road. It's a downhill in Medellin only, I guess, and you can see
Yeah.
the entire city lights and people skateboard over there.
Yeah,
Great.
even in some of in the cocktail bars in Medellin, you can see all the city lights too. It's so beautiful.
Great. A scam you almost fell for, when you were on vacation or while traveling?
I'm going to have to say, nearly any foreign country, you always feel like renting a car is a scam. It always says at the airport, so it's an airport pickup, and then you get there and there's no company. And then you're like, where the hell? And you have to try to communicate in a foreign language that this is my thing, and they say, I don't know. And then turns out that you have to phone them, and then they take 20 minutes to drive there, and then they try to hustle you for insurance that you're pretty sure you've already paid for. So I'm going to have to say renting a car always feels very suspect unless you're paying a very large amount of money and it's one of those main holders at the airport.
Nicole, what's it about you?
I would say very similar to Troy, like the renting the car, because I've definitely had some situations. And I would also say, since I've stayed in quite a couple hostels, there's been some where I'm like, oh, this looks so good on the Hostel World app. And then I've gone to it and I'm like, oh my God, this was not what was pictured. Yeah, I wouldn't say so much of scam as just like misled.
To add to Nicole, like you get to some places and they will say, if you, I'll give you free breakfast if you just complete this 5-star review straight away and things like that. So you really got to do a little bit of due diligence, eh?
Yeah.
Sure that. Lorena, for you?
The one I fell for in Costa Rica, I was getting a bus with my friend, but we had the bus timed through the hostel. They had the timetable. I had it timed before we got to the country, and we pulled up to the station an hour early, as recommended before the bus. But some taxi guy saw us obviously with our backpacks, so we stand out and we were obvious tourists. And he came up to us and he was like, "You just missed your bus." But we were super tired because we landed late the previous night. So we just thought this was some kind man trying to help us. So he said, "If you get into my car, we'll drive and we'll catch the bus." So he kept pretending he was on the phone to people saying, "We're going to catch the bus." He tells us to get out at an ATM, take out $250 each,
Oh my
which we
gosh.
done. Yeah, because he said as well, this is like not a safe place, he really said. So just get out, get the money and get back in. So we're not going to question him, obviously, somewhere like that either. So we got him the money, got back in his car, and then he brought us to a bus station 2.5 hours away though, and got us bus tickets with the money that we obviously gave him. So we got to our destination, but we're extremely overcharged.
Well, that's one big scam over there.
Yeah, and I
I mean,
believe it's a common one because I have seen other people speak about it online since. So they obviously just spot people and yeah.
So I guess to our viewers, whosoever is going to Costa Rica, you should note this down.
For
Yeah.
sure.
I remember I also got scammed in San Francisco. So they were playing that dice game on the street, and I stood there like a fool. And I was like, okay, what's it? What's it? It's like, come, we'll double your money. I was like, okay, I know what you're doing, right? And he made me win 4 times on a lower amount. And when I invested a big amount, I lost.
Yep,
I was like,
you
I'm
didn't see
never
that
going
money
back to that
again.
street. I'm never going back. So that was like years back. Great. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. The last thing is, we have talked about moving countries, finding identity in places that were never really ours, and building a life without a fixed address. I guess freedom looks exactly like everyone says it does, and it costs exactly what nobody tells you it does. Last one, 30 seconds each. What is next into 2026 travel for you, and where is life actually taking you? So we start with Troy.
I actually just flew back into Addis, Ethiopia last night from Mozambique. So I just had four beautiful days in another African country, which was an amazing experience. What is building up is I think we're going to go to Johannesburg in a few weeks' time to do another safari. And then our summer plans look like flying into Malaysia, going into Indo, looking at Borneo and spending time with the orangutans. More time in Indonesia before heading to London to see friends. We're going to Cape Town in October and then back home to New Zealand, and all of that's booked. So it's looking pretty good.
In Cape Town, you can see penguins. Our last BTG guest told us about the entire thing. You can see penguins over there on a beach. Great. So, Nicole, what's it for you? 2026 plans?
So I'm gonna finish out some van life in Spain with some more mountain biking, hopefully hiking in the Pyrenees and some surfing. And then I go home for like in Germany for about 3 weeks, then go to Italy for like more mountain biking. Hopefully, I have nothing set in stone, but I'm really hoping some possible safari Africa trips and possible Patagonia. That's what I'm currently working on. So I have some things in the works going on. So hopefully that will come to fruition.
Perfect.
If you're ever in Addis Ababa, you can reach out.
I will.
Troy's
If
a
I know
guy.
somebody in the area, I will. I literally will. I'll be like,
Anywhere
hey,
near.
I'll be like, I'm near you.
Yeah.
And if you have no internet, Troy, you should already give your address to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect, guys. Lorena, what's it for you? 2026 plans?
In 2 days, I'll be flying to the Amazon to live with the communities there, which is something I've never done anything like this before. So I'm really excited for that. And then hopefully when I come back from that a week after, I'll be moving to a new city. So once I've moved to a new city and I've settled in, then I can review my travels for the year. So yeah.
All the very best. Yes.
Thank you.
So before we close, you have been listening to each other for last, half an hour, 1 hour, and each of you, gets to ask one question to another. Anything you want to ask to one another, go for it. You have 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'd love to. Lorena, so you're off to the Amazon to live in a village or with a small community. How does that even pop up? And what does that look like? Is it like a homestay? Are you like, what, can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so it's really random. It actually popped up on my Instagram, this guy who was living in the Amazon. So I followed him and then I found more because, as you know, the more you watch, the more related content pops up. So then I see that they host people in communities. So you can go and live with them, which is what I'm doing. So there's also, you can go to the Amazon and stay in like these luxury lodges, but I would rather live on the ground with them because they'll bring you through their day-to-day life, which is something that I'm so interested in learning about, how they live so differently to us, but literally through my Instagram feed.
Is there an expectation of you're going to work or earn your keep, or it's just an opportunity to live and be?
No, so I'll be going to just live and be. So there's 2 different communities I'm going to because I want to see how each of them live. So I'll be staying 2 nights with each, but they also do have opportunities if volunteers want to go and you could spend a little longer and contribute further, like by making tables from wood and stuff like that. But for me, I'll be just staying.
Are you like going, like you're going like into the Amazon?
Yeah,
Like you're flying and then you've taken like the boats that you see and everything like you're going in there.
yeah, and I think that's why
cool.
for me, especially to do this solo, like I've stayed in hostels before. I've done a group trip to Kenya where I've stayed in a hut. So this is really out of my comfort zone, but I'm really excited for it as well.
So cool. I love that.
Yeah.
Just like that Anaconda movie, and I'm just getting flashbacks of it.
I don't know that
Getting
movie. Maybe it's
flashbacks of
best
it.
I don't.
But no, I'm sure you're gonna have a great trip. I'm already getting a vibe of a good trip. It's just that the flashbacks of it came. But yeah. Any more questions, guys? Go for it.
No, I guess I have a question for Troy. If I were to go to Ethiopia,
Yes.
what would I have to see? What is something where it's like you have to see this if you're going there?
Well, Ethiopia is so diverse, and like in different regions around Ethiopia, there's so much diversity. Like there's the Bole Mountains, there's the Danakil Depression, and things like that. But you would have to do your research because in some of the regions there's conflict, so you would have to look at recommendations for safe travel and things like that. But within Addis, there's this beautiful, that's called Intoto Park, and it's this, you're up at altitude, surrounded by nature. But I think people come to Ethiopia just for the culture and the food and the vibe. But then you could also spend time in the Omo Valley, and you're going through bouncing off the tribes and things like that. My family and I, we went to Aberminch. And we spent a night next to the tribe, but we got to experience and go through and did all the learning with them. So there's so much diversity in terms of experiences that you could do. But it's the people, it's the music, it's the culture and the food, and it doesn't matter where you go, you're going to experience that.
Great, guys. Thank you for being here. Anywhere you go on your next vacation, on your next holiday, travel with a like as well. You can, of course, let your guy know. And some closing thoughts over here. So, yeah, that's a wrap on today's episode of Beyond the Grid. From Ethiopia to Germany to Latin America, different continents, different stories. But I guess one shared pulse, the courage to, I guess, create, to express, and to go beyond what's expected. To every creator who's listening out there, whether you're just starting out or already building a voice, remember the grid is just a frame. Your story is limitless. Until next time, guys, keep pushing boundaries, keep telling your truth, and most importantly, keep going beyond the grid. Follow Travel with a Like on Instagram and subscribe to Beyond the Grid on YouTube. And it was such a lovely experience talking to you, Troy, Nicole, Lorena. Thank you to Sneha over here for co-hosting this with me. Until then, signing off. See
Drop your
you.
questions on the
Yeah.
comments. Any questions, guys, you have to our creators, drop it in the comments to Troy, Nicole, Lorena. You guys have really given us a vision that this is what happens when life doesn't have a fixed address. So thank you for being with us.
Thank you,
so
guys.
much.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye bye.